What's up, buddy? What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, so today's video we're going to look over Fishman entities Undying from DPC game against Game of Gladiators. All right, so I'm just going to give you some of what I'm thinking on what I'm seeing live, just so it can, just some good stuff. I just glanced at the first couple of minutes and felt like I saw some good points. So I wanted to make just a quick video on the Undying 5. So he starts with the six mango branch sentry, and he immediately sentries the big camp. So he's stopping right away any pull from happening here. So one thing that we've been talking about is decaying the 3 and punching the 4 in certain lanes, but this is a lane where Undying hates. He doesn't want to lane against Silencer. It's really bad. So you're going to see in this lane, he hugs this tree line over here a lot, and Silencer's used on the other side. He tries to be on the other side of the lane from Silencer when he can. So let's see. Here I'm surprised that he doesn't decay sooner when he's punching him. He's just not decaying at all. Once he gets the curse on him, he doesn't want to decay. With the way that it works, if you cast a spell, if you don't know this, if you cast a spell, it resets the spell. So you don't want to cast a spell until the curse is over. Anyways, so it's very obvious that he doesn't want to be near this Silencer. He's not trying to. He's very much hugging this tree line during the lane when he can. Right now he's got a lot of stacks and he's feeling like he can definitely pressure Centaur a lot, which obviously. But notice that he sees here that this camp is warded, and he just doesn't care. He doesn't it doesn't affect him at all. He's not worried about dewarding it and having it spawn. He actually doesn't deal with it until minute 4. So that's kind of an interesting thing just to think about. Undying, I've talked about before, in some lanes doesn't care about the pole camp. He just is trying to put this Centaur down. So as you can see, Centaur's 2-0, and his NP carry is 7 and 5, so that's looking really good. He gets another double decay. Notice that he hasn't used a mango yet. He has 18 mana, but he hasn't used a mango yet because of the HP regen. So the longer obviously you don't want to use the mango until you need it, because you're going to lose HP regen for each, when you consume the mango. So he keeps the mangoes until he needs to use them. So far nothing game breaking. There's a very interesting thing. Like I said, he doesn't care about this, which is he's preparing for it though. When he brings his stick, he brings the sentry because he knows, okay, I do need to deward this at some point, but I'm not concerned about it this minute. I don't really care about it right now. My cat is climbing on my desk. Say hi, Cleo. Say hi. Anyway, so he's not worried about the deward. He is preparing to do it at some point, but he's not it's not a high priority for him. So, and again, he's running around with no mana, but not using the mango. Obviously, this it's kind of obvious, but don't use the mango until you need it. And yeah, he's just trying to spam out these decays. Like I said, if you notice, he's trying to stay away from Silencer. He doesn't want to be near Silencer, which is a smart choice. It's a tough lane for Undying to be against Silencer. It's really annoying to lane against. So it's very cool to see how he's positioning to kind of avoid Silencer when he can, but also harassing Centaur, crazy. Centaur's 8-2, NP's 12-7. So pretty good lane for them so far. Looking real good. Notice here he's halfway to level 3 and he hasn't skilled an ability at level 2 because he's very much in between what he wants to do here. He doesn't see a reason to level the heal. He's full health. NP has a lot of health, and he's unsure on what he's going to need. So he's going to wait and see, do I need to throw a heal, or can I get a kill with an offensive soul rip, or can I get a kill with Tomb? Does the opportunity present itself? So he's still almost halfway to over halfway to level 3, or well, about halfway. Now he's over halfway. Still hasn't skilled an ability yet for level 2. Okay, and here he makes the decision. He makes the decision right here to go for the kill with Tomb. So he levels up Tomb, chugs the fucking mango, and Yeah, it doesn't work out, but the lane was pushing anyways. That's like something to kind of realize here. Like he knows that this lane is gonna push because I noticed this a little bit ago or a minute ago, but like so when this wave's meeting, so there's a whole wave here coming up. Okay, get out of here, Cleo. Okay, kitty, kitty, kitty. There's a whole wave, a radiant wave coming up here to meet one dire range creep, and then there's his waves back here. The next dire wave's up here, so this is obviously going to push. There's a whole wave here pushing into one range creep. So definitely this lane's pushing anyways, so it's totally fine in this case to shove it with the tomb. I mean, obviously he's going for the kills too, but it's not like it doesn't hurt him that they're shoving it, because when you're kind of shoving like this, it's good to just full shove into the tower and just try to get them to lose that wave under tower or lose last hits or whatever. In this case, he's so low that he can't really go in and pressure them off of this wave. But I do like that right here how aggressive he's being, even with this in this situation he's in. For a little bit there. So, anyways, they're shoving the wave, and now he's okay. So now it's like, what's he gonna do now that he shoved the lane in? Now he can go deal with this D ward. So now that this is shoved in, NP's totally fine to be around himself. These guys are low. He can't really go do anything himself with to push them off of this wave. I mean, with this much health, it's a little dicey against a silencer. So he's definitely Cleo. What are you doing? Get out of here, sis. Go. So he's definitely using the opportunity there when he shoved the lane in. There's no wasted time where he's like, oh, what am I doing here? Oh, the lane shoves in. He kind of fucks around a little bit, and then he's like, okay, I need to go deward the pole and grab the bounty. It's like he's making very clear moves. He gets this deward while there's in between time, because he's shoving the lane. Because they shoved the lane in. Now it's the opportunity to go do this stuff. It's not until it's set up to do it. He doesn't just leave in the middle of a situation where he should be helping NP. He waits until it's shoved in. He doesn't care that this has been blocked since minute 0. It doesn't spawn until minute 4. He does not care at all. So yeah, that's a good learning point. I think that he actually should have pulled here. I don't see any reason why he shouldn't cut down here and just pull the camp right here. That's probably I'm not at a skill level to say that this guy's making a mistake, but he doesn't get the pull off, which it seemed like he could have, and then he kind of runs back over here, but now it's too late. So anyways, I think that was probably a mistake by him. Let's see, he's bringing out raindrops. Nice. So he is going for the early raindrops, which I fucking love. And yeah, let's maybe speed it up just a little bit here. And he's still like this is the situation where, as Undying, it's like it gets a little bit tricky, because now Centaur has no stacks against him. He has no stacks. He's pretty low mana already, even though he does have the mangoes. These guys both have a level on him. It's kind of like sometimes in these types of situations with Undying, it's a little bit tough to go back to the lane at this point, level 2, and then you're wanting to start harassing again, but you're so far away from doing real harassment to him, but he just comes back, he starts chipping away with the decays, trying to help his NP as much as he can. Nice. And he immediately levels up Tomb again. One thing to realize here when he leveled up Tomb is it just came up off cooldown. So he hits level 3 right here when Tomb is 5 seconds off cooldown. I think a lot of people will take a point in Tombstone when Tombstone still has 60 seconds left, or whatever. It's an 90-second cooldown at level 1. People will cast Tombstone, get a kill, whatever, and then level up Tombstone again. It's like, well, you can't cast it again for 70 seconds, so why are you putting your level 3 point in there? But he knows that Tombstone's about to be up again, and so he just looks to put a point in Tomb here. And looking at this game too, I think that he's got a bat mid. You know, he's got an Enigma and he's got an NP carry. So you got to think that with this comp, they're most likely like gonna want to do stuff. You know, with a Batman and with an NP who can like come to certain things, and they have a team that is probably gonna want to fight a little bit earlier, and so it makes sense in this game for him to take the points in Tomb for the actual like team fighting ability and stuff. So I'm glad that I can look at this and kind of figure out why he's doing this. So right here, one thing I would have liked to have seen, and again, like this is a pro player, so I'm not trying to criticize him. I'm just trying to say what I think. And right here, with 16 stacks of decay up, popping this salve. If he waits just a little bit here until some more stacks fall off, he'll get way more value out of this salve. He pops the salve so early that it's only going to get him barely over half health, or well, I guess the 2/3. But if he just waits, because he's at 16 stacks right here, the stacks are about to fall off. There he goes to 12 right there, so he has less health. So if you wait, that's just one thing. Maybe in this situation, he wants to cast Tomb and fight right now, so he pops the salve early. But just something to think about is if you have a salve and you're missing, 800 HP, wait for some stacks to fall off, then salve yourself up, and you're going to get way more out of that salve than if you salve like he did. And then he's coming into this fight with 2/3 health. But if he would have done what I said, because I say wait for the stacks to fall off, then you salve, then you come in and Tomb and cast your spells. But by what I'm saying, it would happen 6, 7, 8 seconds later, because I'm waiting for the stacks to fall off before I cast the salve. So his play, he's coming into this with 2/3 health, but he's coming into it, 6 or 7 seconds earlier than I would have come in with full health. So, just something to think about for whether or not what I'm saying makes sense or not. I mean, he gets to go a little bit earlier. I would have come in a little bit later with full health. He's back. So anyways, I think that since he didn't even end up going there, he didn't end up casting the Tomb or doing anything, I think he probably should have waited for the stacks to fall off and then casted it. But yeah, still trying to harass Centaur, help his NP have space. It's pretty, I mean, NP does have 10 denies, but, the CS is relatively close here. I mean, obviously they're, winning the lane, but it's close-ish. And, it's hard to... Centaur hits a point where it's like, he's going to have his Vanguard soon. It's like, fucking what can you do to him? But for the early levels, I think he did a pretty nice job of harassing him while avoiding the silencer. And, yeah, wow, really nice play by Nature's Prophet here. NP actually traps Centaur in his trance. Nice play there by NP. So he throws the Tomb. NP then blocks with the trance. Very, very nice. Because Silencer actually has a Quelling Blade. So if NP would have just casted the trees or the sprout around Silencer, Silencer could have ate the tree and walked out. But so Nature's Prophet there, instead of letting him get away, he cast the sprout in front of him, so he can't eat a tree and walk out. He has to actually eating one tree doesn't get him out. He has to walk by those, and that gives him enough time to kill him. So that was actually a really nice play there by his Nature's Prophet, blocking Centaur in, and then getting the silencer kill too by how he casted the sprout. Really, really good stuff. And then he comes over and he's looking to stack. So and as we've talked about on Radiant, he can't double stack, so he just goes and stacks his big camp. If he was Dire, he'd stack 2 camps. But because he's Radiant, he can only stack the 1, and that's what he does. He goes over at minute 7 and stacks. He's got eyes on the silencer. They see silencer place the ward. Super good stuff. Nice. So this is great. Like he recognizes that they had double killed bot, and then he comes over stacks. Sees this play developing, shows up just in time to to counterplay, and they get a super easy silencer kill. And yeah, it's just good. It's just good stuff. So, anyways, this is beyond where I've watched in this game, so I'm not really sure. I just watched it, 3 or 4 minutes because, I'm watching a pro play, so I'm like, kind of doing like a coaching video for you, but on a pro's play, and I see good things and I see bad things, and yeah, I was definitely excited when I watched the first few minutes to like get into it and make a quick little video. I don't know how long I'm gonna make it, but and he goes with the 1-1-3 build. He's committing to the tomb and just the team fighting and knowing that his team wants to fight this game. I'm sure in other in other situations, different team comps that he wouldn't necessarily skill this way. Oh, and I really like this. I really like this by him. So, obviously, my first thought here was, why the fuck did this guy tombstone? That was such a bad tombstone. Like, what the fuck? Why would he tomb? The CM's dead. All he has to do is walk up, decay, soul rip, and it's done, right? I mean, obviously, he doesn't need to tombstone here, right? I mean, it doesn't look like it to me. But what he tombstones for is to get the CM kill. He's not even wasting mana. He's not, well, he doesn't have mangoes, but it's to farm their jungle right after. So he gets the CM kill with it. He doesn't really need to throw it to get the kill, but he throws it, gets the kill, and then farms with it too. It's so smart. It makes so much sense. I love it. I think that was such a good decision. Wow, that was awesome. Kind of fucking mind blown by what I just saw. That was awesome. That was my gut like visceral reaction was, what the fuck was that tombstone? It's horrible. And then I keep watching and it's like, oh fuck, this makes sense. Fucking nice. That was great. I like that. So, anyways, his tombstone's on cooldown now. When you go this 1-1-3 build, when your tomb is on cooldown, it's like, what can you really do? You don't have, with 1 point in decay, 1 point in soul rip. Like when your tomb's down, you're kind of chilling. You're either stacking or you're, like he's soaking mid here to try to get his level 6. Game versus Spirit is up. They didn't play Spirit, did they? Let me see here. Entity. Oh, versus Secret. Oh, they played Secret today. Show details. Let's see. We're gonna just go straight into this next game, I think. Okay, so we only get 1 disruptor game. Let's go straight into it. I really, really, really like doing these videos on the first 10 minutes of the game. I really, really like that. I think beyond that, it gets super hard because there's just so many different things you can do. I mean, obviously there's really only a few probably viable options, but I think that like overall team stuff is like it's harder to kind of to say like, because I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, your team should be doing this. If I'm looking at a mid game situation, oh, your team should be doing this, your team should be doing that. It's not as much like focused on the individual. Like when I make these videos, I really like to focus on the individual play and what you can do better. And I think that it's easier to pick apart the first 10 minutes than anything else because I'm just trying to do an individual coaching here. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Same build, 6 mangoes, Sentry, Branch. Let's see here. Okay, so in this lane, he's not scared of. Hoodwink isn't the same as. So in the last game, he doesn't want to be in that situation against Silencer. Silencer is too strong in lane for against Undying. His spell. I mean, it's a hard. You don't want to lane against Silencer. He's not as scared of Hoodwink. So here he goes back to decay the 3, punch the 4. It's very lane dependent on how you're going to play. So in the last lane, you saw he was hanging the tree line, decaying Centaur, punching Centaur as much as he could, staying away from Silencer. Here, decay Doom. Wow. decay Doom, and walk over and fucking punch this Hoodwink. And just make him pay, and then he obviously decays Hoodwink too there, just, fucking him up. Just making Hood really, like, work to do this and not making it, like, easy for him. And when the enemy does this, you won't see this in your games, but when the enemy does this, like, if you don't go with them, your creep wave will die and you won't get XP. No one will get the XP. It'll just die in the middle of nowhere here. If he's not here, he doesn't get the XP for that creep. And he's actually able to see, it's really it's high level what he's doing here, and it's hard to I don't really want to get too into the weeds here because this is maybe probably not something you're going to see in your game, but since I'm looking at it and thinking about it, I feel like I should probably explain what's going on here. He comes here and he wants this wave to get to Nature's Prophet. But look, it's just an even wave meeting an even wave. So what he's thinking is, okay, if I can get my wave into the tower, into the T2, so he waits until Hoodwink's not in a position to pull this wave back to where he can't stop this Hoodwink because Hoodwink's positioning over here. Over here, this is actually kind of bad by Hood. He's able to pull the wave to the range creep, kill the range creep. His creeps go under the T2, and now only one creep. NP only misses one creep, and he gets the creep. So he gets that one creep. NP doesn't miss any of the wave. If he wasn't there doing that, NP misses this full wave, gets denied from NP. Instead, he gets the one creep. NP gets the other three here coming to him. And, the lane is now kind of pushing back in their direction because these three creeps are coming into these two creeps. And, it's super, super good for them. Whereas if you just kind of let that happen, it would be really, really bad for them. And NP would be like pissed, and like, where the fuck's my wave? Like, what the hell? What the fuck happened? Like, why didn't you know what I mean? Like, it just was really a really smart play by him to play that like that. I'm really impressed with some of the things I've seen from him. I also, there's been a couple times where I've criticized him, but that's Dota. It's like nobody's going to play perfectly. I mean, but I've seen some things from him that are like really amazing, and it's like he's letting NP just get the solo XP. Like, look at this, NP's level 3, he's level 1 still. Like, he's totally fine with NP just farming in the lane. And let me bring up the last incident. Nice. NP's 10-6, Doom's 8. He's decaying Doom again there. Decay Doom. He's got Decay up. He doesn't cast it on Hoodwink. He walks over, decays Doom, and then he's harassing Hood. So nice. And he's not popping the mango until he intends to cast his spell. He's keeping his HP regen as high as possible. And then when he wants to decay, he mangoes right before. He doesn't mango preemptively. You don't need to do that. Don't mango until you are going to cast the spell, because otherwise you're giving up, it's 0.6 HP regen per mango. So 0.6 HP regen you're just giving away if you don't, if you mango early. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. And here, same thing. He's like, they're Hoodwink's pulling another wave. Hang on. Let me look at the difference here. So in this situation, here's the difference. In the last situation, when he was running after Hoodwink and messing with him the whole time, when Hoodwink was pulling the last wave down this way, he couldn't be so impactful against Doom at that time. He wanted to mess with Hood. He wanted to follow Hood and do that. But here, instead of following Hood up here to do this stuff, he sees that Doom is really weak and he can really, really zone Doom here and mess with him. So he's, instead of, being on Hood like he was last time, it's just every situation is different. It's like, just use your brain when you're playing, do what feels right to you in the moment. You don't necessarily want to overthink everything. It's not always, this is right, this is the right thing. It's every situation is different. It's, a beautiful thing. Ooh, and another instructive point here. Here, he doesn't want to use a mango. He wants to keep the maximum HP regen. So to get enough mana to decay, he only needs 30 mana. So 15 mana per stack. This 2 stick charges, he casts the 2 charges, it'll give him 30 mana. So he waits till he's at 70. The second he hits 70 mana, he casts the stick and he casts his decay. He doesn't want to burn a mango to cast the decay here, which is just so fucking smart and just so good. It's like, I mean, look at this. The guy's, I mean, this is phenomenal. He's the discipline. It's like 69 mana. It's like he knows he needs 70. He's in his head. He's like, I need to get to 70, a stick and Q and not use a mango to keep that HP regen. It's like he wants that 4 HP regen a second right now. He doesn't want it to be 3.4. He wants 4. So why not have 4? So I really, really, really like that. I think that was really impressive to me. I really, respect his play. I think he's, playing amazing. And he's still, same thing here. He hits level 2, doesn't cast or doesn't skill anything up. He's just waiting to see how this develops, see what, can I get kills with the tomb? Can I get a kill with Soul Rip? Do I need to heal with Soul Rip? It's like, leave your options open. Don't just auto skill and think, oh, I need this game. It's like, use your brain. Like, wait, you don't have to skill it until you need it. And then once he makes the decision, I'm gonna tombstone here. There's probably a call made between their team, between him and NP, like, yes, we can kill these guys if we get tomb. So he's chilling. He decides to skill tomb, and then boom, mango, tomb, and they're going for the kill. Nice job by Radiant there to get rid of the tomb and not lose anything there. But I mean, let's look at what did they lose? What did they lose? This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly the point I've been trying to make to you, or I've been making to you in previous coaching videos and just talking. What's he trying to accomplish here? He wants to push Doom off of this creep wave. Look at this. There's a full creep wave on the tower, and he's like, fuck you, Doom. You are not getting this creep wave. And so he comes beneath the tower, he takes his tombstone, and he's standing in between Doom and that wave, and he's just, you are not getting this creep wave. And the full wave is going to get denied from Doom here. It's like, that could so be overlooked, and you maybe, if I wasn't explaining that to you, you maybe wouldn't have recognized, or maybe you would have, I don't know, but I mean, it's important to realize here what he's trying to do. He wants Doom off of this wave, and he knows he can push him off it. He knows he can push him off the wave. And so, yeah, they killed the tomb, and they could have got kills. They didn't. Well, guess what? Doom missed 3 CS right there that died to the tower. Maybe one. Maybe could have got one. But anyways, very important lesson is when you can push them off of the wave under the tower, do not be afraid of the tower. Push them off of the wave. So that's a really good stuff here by Fishman. And now I'm interested in what he's doing because he has no mana. He's bringing the clarity. There's the raindrops again. Bringing the clarity and the raindrops. The clarity's not really enough here. He's so out of mana. No stick charges, no mangoes. This is a tough situation you run into on Undying a lot of times in this point where it's like, okay, you've used all your mangoes, you've got no mana. It's like you almost just want to die and come back, So, but he's still punching him. Still punching. And he's, and see, another, kind of instructive point here. It's like in his head, right here, he could stick and decay, but he's 1 creep away from leveling up. So if there's a thought in his head of, I'm 1 creep away from leveling up, and then I'm going to put a second point in decay and then decay this guy. So instead of stick decay right here, he's going to wait for 1 more creep to die. Then he's going to cast the decay. So, that's another kind of obvious point, but then he's going to also have the idea or the choice of, I mean, well, Tomb is still 30 seconds away from cooldown. I'd kind of be surprised if he took Tomb here at level 3, but they do have a similar lineup. They do have the Bat, the Nature's Prophet. They have Mirana. They do have a team that probably wants to fight early. So maybe he does go for Tomb here. But you know, being 20 seconds away, but he's still, I mean, he's still not level 3 yet. So maybe he does actually take Tomb here level 3. But I'm glad that he didn't cast that Decay when he was 1 creep away from level 3. And yeah, he gets a good clarity off too. God, he's 1 creep away. He doesn't want to cast his spells. I know he doesn't. And I wish he would have soaked it. I wish he would have soaked the level 3 for... Okay, and he does take the point in Decay. And he waits until he gets that creep kill. Okay. So he is... Okay. It's like, this is a tough situation because he's playing in such an aggressive way here when he really wants 1 more creep before he goes. But he just doesn't quite get it. But he does get it in right here. The creep dies. He levels it up and casts it. Gives his best chance. He sticks. He casts the Tomb. And, you know, that... It's just... He was so close to having that level 3 before that fight started. But instead, he got it, you know, as the fight was just about to end. As he was just about to die, he got the level up. It's like, you know... He felt like he had a situation, I think, that he should have soaked that level 3 before they went. But, you know, obviously easy to say that in hindsight. And then here you see what, you know, every, you know, support should do here. You die, you tell your bat, I'm going to TP mid, fill your bottle. Bat needs the refill, he's out of mana, he's out of bottle charges. It's about to be the 6-minute rune, so bat can get, it's perfect timing because he TPs, fills bat's bottle, and then he can sit here, guard the 6-minute rune for bat. So bat gets full mana when he was out of mana before he TP'd. He gets full mana, and in this case, he wanted to hold this for bat, but he couldn't because Invoker came. But he made Invoker walk up there and deny it. You know, he made him do that. So nice double kill. Good play by bat. So, anyways, I think I'm going to cut it here. I feel like there were some very kind of instructive points there from the laning phase, so I feel, you know, pretty good about that. I think that he made really good rotations, like not rotations, but just like, you know, in that first game when he went to get the D ward and the bounty, he waited until they had shoved the lane into the tower, like fully, and there was nothing he could do in the lane. And then he went and D warded and went and grabbed the bounty. It's like he's not pulling at all. He's not pulling at all. I haven't seen a single pull. I mean, is this even dewarded? Is this even available? Has this even spawned? I mean, I mean, it could be, but I mean, the point is he hasn't fucking pulled it. So, anyways, just some pretty good stuff, I think, and yeah, I like that he goes to raindrops. I love raindrops. I think they're so underrated by a lot of people. And yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you next time.